40 units and they have a running at 29 that have the program.
Mr. White?
So there's like 11 of them. And then she brings these solutions, but I'm like, they haven't done any function for the outside. So I've been it's close up for them, but take them up there and show them. They have a picture. I mean, this is a nice place. When I went on, it's like, there's a library, there's going to be a workout room, there's washer and dryer and everything.
Hello.
It's really nice.
You're in charge of this?
Which one?
August.
Yeah.
It's August, okay. Oh, you gotta find a date.
Just out of the ordinary.
I don't care.
No, he's talking about the cookout for the next week.
Okay, let's get started here, folks.
She came in.
Might be a little early.
Yeah, that's one.
It's okay, I've been there for.
Excuse me, we're gonna get started in our committee meetings. Okay, the first thing we have on there is a financial report. And Mr. Magnus, that's in your committee.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, we should have gotten your April financials. I don't know if you've had a chance to look over them. One point to be made, we're about $77,000 up on property tax collections and about $28,000 up on sales tax receipts. Mentioned it to the mayor, and the property tax receipts may be just coming in early. But the good thing is we got sales tax increases for the first time in some time.
We talked to Luke about the property taxes, and Jeff said probably a lot of escrow accounts that come in early this year. So that more or less, we're probably gonna have a dry run here of about 4 or 5 months on property taxes. But all told, especially with our sales tax up, it's great.
We did have one in the water and sewer was the payment to the ESG that kind of stood out with $600,000. Other than that, everything was good. So, does anybody have any questions?
Do you have anything else about it?
No, sir, that's it.
We'll move right along here. Okay, we're gonna go down to Public Works.
I'm setting in for Ryan.
Are you setting in?
I got it.
All right, got you covered.
Water meter update. Wade, I'm just gonna let you take it and run with it. Yes, I understand.
I just wanted to give you a brief update. We are underway with the water meter replacement project. As of today, we have pretty much all of book 21 done except for one meter. There's a 2-inch meter in that they'll get some well. Starting on book 1. Finished book 21, starting on book 1. Which is 326 meters installed so far. We should be getting a delivery of 1,500 meters either tomorrow or Monday, at which point they'll have 2 crews out working, putting meters in. Then we expect the really big shipment to come in sometime the week of June 10th, and that'll be another 2,600 meters. Kind of getting off to a start. Things are probably going to start speeding up over the next few weeks, and I just kind of want to let everybody know where we stood and see if you have any questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Boswell, do you have anything else?
No, sir. No, sir. It was just an update. No, sir. I did not.
Mr. Taylor?
Due to some just found out facts, I would like to table the yard sale ordinance discussion until further notice.
That's in your committee, and you know.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
No.
Tabling it? Okay.
No. However, not in relying with the working on the ordinance, but I think the thinking behind the process is right. What Dina has seen, and she also shared with us, she did some research and emailed to us. Roger Rogers, Springdale, Mountain Home, a few others, Mayflower, and, you know, they have ordinances in place. I don't know how difficult it would be to enforce them. That would be the question I would have. But I think it's not too unreasonable to look at it from the standpoint of someone not having a permanent yard sale in their yard constantly every day, Monday through Friday, every day of the week. But also, and, you know, not now, but it's a good point of discussion to bring up. But most of them recommended between 2 and 3 yard sales a year. You know, and some of them got down to exactly what constitutes a yard sale. And so, it was interesting. I think we probably need to come back and look at it, but I think for now, you know, until we feel more comfortable with it and we see a need, we leave it alone. We don't need to broke necessarily, or don't need to fix what's not broke.
I agree. Is everybody okay with that on the
Yeah, I'm
committee?
good with
Okay, then it will be dropped until further notice. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else you need to bring up?
No, sir.
We'll move on down to new business. Mr. Savage, I will put this next one to you. Since you brought it to the table.
I'm gonna let that go for the time.
Okay. Okay, we're all the way through, down here to next month's meeting. Ryan, do you wanna talk about that? Or
The
we
meeting-
cannot vote on that
No,
tonight.
you talking about the meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're all, not that we're all, but there's quite a few, myself, Mary Jean, and yourself will be gone on the 25th, so we need to reschedule to another time. And so we got to vote at the next meeting, I believe,
Yes,
but we can typically talk about a date
Yes.
that would look good. Does any day look better to anybody else as far as the time to meet?
Well, I'm out between June the 11th and the 18th.
Me too.
I was looking at 22nd or 23rd.
Moving it forward,
I'm fine. I mean, I'm pretty flexible.
I could actually meet that Monday or Tuesday as well,
I'm good with that.
So, me too.
so
Monday would be better for me.
Monday?
would be-
22nd?
That's fine.
all right, then let's put it on there to vote for it.
Yeah, okay.
And also, we had discussed among several of us changing the order. You know, when we got started with this year's council, we have the committee meetings at the end of the month. And the discussion was as to whether, if we changed it to have the committee meetings on the first Thursday, or the second Thursday, and the actual council on the fourth Thursday, that would allow Luke time to get financials and other things in. So, we'd like to bring that to the table as well.
Well, then, and I would kind of like to talk about that, because if we do that, we could actually push it to the next council meeting instead of meeting earlier, and then move that one to the next committee meeting.
I would suggest we not do that until July.
July, that's what I was gonna say.
If that's y'all's wishes. Now, that being the
It
order.
helps them get the financial report.
Oh,
Okay.
no issue. I'm kind of like Dan, though. We need to kind of let the public know about, we're gonna make change.
Yeah.
And, you know, after we meet tonight, we don't meet again until June, and we need to give them an opportunity to say,
Yeah.
most of them, I think most of them are gonna say they don't care, but
Well, if y'all want to discuss that tonight and bring it to the council meeting, the next council meeting, if Van said it'd be a housekeeping item, we have to vote on it.
Vote, get it in the
Vote and get it in the minutes. Now, that's up to y'all. If you want to discuss it tonight, it's a good opportunity.
Well, I was trying to say, might as well get it out on the table and see if the rest of the council feels that way.
I'm in favor of that.
I am too.
we're just gonna swap.
That's far.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is, the next meeting's gonna be another committee meeting.
Yeah.
Two committee meetings back to back. in
Well, yeah, July, right.
Basically.
Well, right.
I just had to look at it.
I'm sorry, I'm got myself. So, June we'll do a regular schedule, and in July we'll have 2 committee meetings back to back.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No.
No, you've got the right, deals. June would be a committee meeting, and then we would start off, no, because we have to vote first.
You'll have your regular committee meeting, or your regular council meeting on June 11th.
Right.
Your committee meeting on the 22nd.
And then
And
the other.
then July 9th will be a committee meeting. And
Right.
then July 23rd will be a council
You
meeting.
said 2 committee meetings in July, but that wouldn't be correct.
No, you
No, I
had
I meant to say committee meetings back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Too much Diet Pepsi.
get that down, yeah.
Yep.
And that will go to your committee. As long as everybody's comfortable with it, I don't want everybody to get there at the meeting and change their mind then.
Well, we had talked about this at the first of the year, and I think the majority of us had said, let's try it for a while, and if it doesn't work, we can always change it, and we're at that point now.
Right. Well, like I say, here we have April's financials ready. When we get to June, you know, we're gonna be in that situation again. It gives Luke more time to work on them, and he's not forced into any critical deadlines.
Gives us more time to review as well.
Right.
How goes the audit, by the way?
Really haven't done a whole lot. They started with the street funds, nothing's really came up out of it. They started with infrastructure today. I imagine they probably won't get into general fund until a little bit later, so it'll probably be a couple weeks.
Cheers.
Anybody else on the council have anything to bring up?
I have a minor problem here.
Yes, ma'am.
Dina had requested the statistics on the accidents and have that at our council meeting. And that was not included in our packet, and I find out you said that it was on your desk. So we didn't get it till after it had gone to your desk.
Did we not put it on there?
I got an email, did I not?
No.
I don't remember after the meeting, because it wasn't in the,
Dina had requested.
it wasn't in the, it wasn't in, yeah, she requested it at the
And it was
commit,
put
at the
on-
council meeting.
It was put on Google Docs.
And then I think it's on,
Instead of
I think
being-
it's on the Google Docs.
It is now.
I got it in here.
It's on there.
I thought we put it on
Yeah,
there.
it wasn't with the pen. It wasn't included in our packet.
Oh, no, it wasn't in your, it wasn't in the.
No, because
wood
it said
copy.
it was on your desk.
Oh,
And
we'll
I
wait
thought
on
that
the desk, 'cause
If
got
we
it.
request something, I can understand, you need it too, but if we request something, it needs to.
You know,
be gotten
I've
back to us.
updated myself, now
Well,
I get on
it-
the computer.
Well, it did get to you on the, in your docs, in your council docs.
Yeah, it's in there.
Thanks. Of course, mine's
Alright.
been down.
We'll talk to you later about a little bit more fluidity, because it seems like sometimes they're all scanned together, and sometimes they're separate, and sometimes they're spot. It'd be nice if it was just the same way. I don't care which way it is, it's just always the same would be nice.
I do it both ways in your packet, so that if you wanna go to one individual thing, you can grab it real quick, and then I combine them in the agenda order, so that when you come to the meeting, you can sit here and scroll.
But I think that sometimes, well, not every, just a few times, it just seems like it's different, but, hey, I'm good, if that's what your plan is, I'm good with that.
But, and it is in there, the stuff in your council packet.
But if you want wood copies or paper
Yeah.
copies, that's no problem, we can get them anytime.
Was your printer down there, Gene?
I think we're-
Your printer's down in it. You don't have a printer right now?
Well, we can make you copies.
Yeah, anytime you want hard copies, just give me a call. I'll be glad to have them sitting here
Well, I
waiting.
was just a little surprised when we came, it wasn't included in the packet, because I knew that Dina, of course, Dina was without, Bill was, Dina's voice was, I loved your voice,
Yes, you did such a good job.
Okay.
but I was just a little surprised that it was not included, because it had been requested when I looked at it.
Okay.
And that was,
Well, say something.
I did.
Well, I don't mean here, if you want some docs, I'll get you anything you want, so just let me know.
Well, I was expecting it to be there, and it wasn't, and that was my concern, because, and then when I asked about it, they said it was laying on the mayor's desk.
Okay. Sorry.
I have something.
Uh-huh.
Just again, it was in the paper today, but I was in the planning commission just talking about, there was a rezoning, I think it'd be at the next council, we'll have to vote on, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so just in case you know about it, there's gonna be probably some questions, I suggest research it, because you're gonna have questions probably on it. But, over here on the 7 South, right across from Kirby Manor, they are wanting to rezone a, C2 to a C3, which is a different type of commercial property. And they've got both surrounding buildings is a C3, and the one in the middle is a C2, but they need it to be a C3, so it could be an auto shop of some sort. So, planning commission has moved forward with it, so it'll come to the city council at this next meeting, but some of the neighbors would like for it not to be changed. And because of the time frame, we couldn't sit on it and do a little more research about it. So it will come to you guys to approve or not to approve, but you probably want to drive by and just look and kind of, because you may receive some information or questions about it.
What's the address?
It's the old terminal.
Still Terminax building.
Did the,
But C3
Well,
was
make a recommendation?
Yeah, they made a recommendation to go ahead and make it a C3, to change it from C2 to C3.
Vote was 3-2?
Yes,
Are they concerned about,
Yeah, that is correct.
Brian, are they concerned about noise, appearance?
They are both,
Both?
because of they believe that that's a historic, you've got the Kirby and you've got some of those other nights on the opposite side of the 7th South, and they believe that because it's 7's kind of a historic drive, and also because of what they're trying to create there, they think it'll interrupt. But there's already C3 right across from them as well on each side of that one building. And so to turn down C2 just because we know it's going to be an auto shop of some sort, and not allow it, is why it kind of went forward. I think emotionally, we all kind of feel tied. We don't want it to be 7 or that area to look bad, but at the same time, just kind of, we're looking at, there are zoning maps, kind of see where everything is and how that all plans out. And but if you need more information, I know that they have it, we can get it for you, but I would definitely maybe just look over it, so when you come to the meeting, you know what we're rezoning.
I'm just curious, and it really has nothing to do particularly with that spot, because I walk by there a lot anyway, but I'd be curious as to how many islands we've got around town like that, where we've got two different zones. I mean, literally, you've got a C3, and one lot in the middle, is in between with the C2. Do we have a lot like that around town?
Of course, that's only gonna happen on highways.
Okay,
So
but
it-
still, yeah, I'd
so
still
it's-
be curious.
It's not on interior streets.
That's fine, I'd still be curious as to, we have a lot of that around town where we've got an island, and how did we end up with 2 C3s and didn't make that C2?
Here's,
Wasn't requested.
It wasn't requested, each
They
lot has to
told
be
me to
requested separately, you don't just kind of zone the whole.
And why not?
Well, when that was originally, when the original planning jurisdiction, or whatever you wanna call it, the planning zone map was created, you had what used to be the bottling plant, that's the KCWD building, and then you had a gas station on down there. And those had to be zoned C3. So when they went through doing that, those were C3 when it was established. Kind of like grandfathered in, where the rest of it was C2.
Is it C3 all the way down to Ridgely Post?
It's,
I'm just curious.
it's C3 all the way down to Mission Church, I think.
To the church.
I mean C2, sorry.
Because you had the old shop, your old shop was over there too.
Yeah, that was C2.
I think I was C2. Because C2 is office,
Okay.
and C3 is,
I'm just, and this is my thinking, and I'm not on the zoning, but my thinking is this, is why do we have an island in the middle of C2 in the middle of C3? My vision is, on zoning, is this. You zone an entire area the same zone so you can construct
Terminax.
accordingly.
Because when they probably switched them one at a time, and
It's done individually.
The
But
primary,
that's not,
It's only asked for.
that doesn't hold water with me.
let
With
me,
the owner of the property.
primary zone
Asking
for
for individual.
commercial is C2. In fact, I think the service station is probably, that's up there is still C2, because service stations are permitted in a C2 zone. These fellows, as I understand it, want to put in an automotive repair shop, and the specifications for zoning will not let that in a C2, but it does let it in a C3. So I think the original zone through there was intended, or was set up in the original plan as C2, and because of either pre-existing, like was said here, or because people requested. So what happens is that we get requests, and the petitions are for specific property, and C3 is considered compatible in a C2 basic zone.
And just to add to the original statement is that it was also done with a restriction that needs to have the fence according to residential. Okay, so And you know, it's just like this debate right here. There's a lot of information when it comes to zoning. I think you're asking all the right questions, and that's why I wanted to bring it up now, so that when we get to meeting, you'll be educated with your answer, because there's a lot of information. I even went to a training, came back and thought I knew less than when I went. It's just a lot, and so I'm just telling you, you need to be thoroughly, just make sure you know what you're.
The background also that might be helpful is that there is a specific notice to the public for the planning commission's consideration. First of all, a newspaper notice is run in the paper at least 2 weeks prior to the meeting. Notices by mail had to be sent out to all landowners within 300 feet of the property, and there were 25 letters sent, and they are told if they want to participate or be heard, that they show up for the planning commission. Out of those 25 landowners, there were 2 that showed up for this meeting, for the public hearing.
Okay, that's good to know the process.
Right, and that's why I just wanted you to know.
That Wholesome White with 2 out of 25.
Yeah,
As far as,
and they expressed
how many were-
concerns regarding everybody else, but they weren't there. But regardless, you know, it's hard because there's an emotional tie to that area, but at the same time, you've got other areas that easily you could buy the property on either side and turn it into auto shop. You can't do anything with it because it's already a C3. So even though they're buying the C2 property, the old Terminex building, they could have easily purchased the other one, which was for sale, and just done it, and they wouldn't have to go to us at all. It wouldn't have to come to the planning commission, to you or I, and there's nothing could have been said.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm not necessarily against it, I'm just,
no, I think you just,
it's the process of
Yeah.
having islands of different zoning in a single block just kind of boggles my barbecued mind.
There's probably a few of those, I'm gonna say within the city, I don't know everything.
I'm sure they're all right.
Yeah, it happens. Of course, there is a state law, we can't have islands as such in our city, and we're having to take care of those. Man's working on those.
But that's an
Yeah,
annexation.
that's annexation only. But these zoning things, they come up to the planning commission on an individual basis.
No, I mean, really don't have a dog in the hunt one way or the other than it's in my area and I know exactly where it's at. And I can imagine by looking at what's across the street with Kirby Manor and the other house that sits on the corner and Johnny Nichols' law office and all that right there. I mean, I can see both sides of it. But you don't want to discourage somebody from opening a business either that brings tax dollars to the city of Harrison. So we look at it from both angles.
I agree. I mean,
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
I'll tell you, it's a 3-2 vote, and I really feel like that just because we were all kind of, we all felt we all felt the pressure of, you know, wanting not to offend, and also the area that it is, but had we had a little more time, it might have been a little better one way or the other, but there's a restriction on the time, so it would go to us, so that's the time limit is when it comes to us, because that's the finalized decision. Because really, as y'all know, the planning commission only make recommendation, it's the council that will actually make it happen.
So is the sale of this property in a time crunch to be completed, is that the reason?
That is.
It's
It's a
for the
pending
rush.
sale.
Not to get into the details too much, but what kind of, extensive, construction are they looking at? Are they going to completely?
That really was a concern.
They're not required to file any building plans or site plan or use plan.
Not for that rezoning, they just would literally just,
Just rezoning.
that's it.
However, they'll have to file a construction permit if they start to build over there. Right.
Yes.
I do understand they are going to be working with the existing structure.
Terminate building.
Yes.
Didn't they used to have a fence in fence in the lot? Is it still there?
Still is.
It's still there.
Okay. Used to park the trucks in there, things like that.
I think they may be more concerned about, like damaged vehicles out by the street.
They were.
Parts
They are.
and
They have
stuff, and grease and
Sure.
oil and noise, I totally understand that, but there again, on the other hand, like Bill said, we don't wanna turn anybody away that could possibly bring tax dollars into the city, so.
It's a catch-22.
Have anything else?
I only brought that up
That's good.
Brian and I have both received telephone calls from one gentleman concerning the feral cats. There was 36, but now there's 35. One of them got killed. And he says, hey, and I told him I would bring it at the committee meeting because he's highly allergic to cats. They love
Brian
the short.
Brian is, you mean?
No, it's not Brian.
Oh, okay.
One Brian's house. But he says that they're very destructive.
What's our animal control ordinance in regards to feral cats?
There is no zero.
There is
Just
no-
dogs.
There's nothing on cats at all.
Is there a reason
And of course-
why, Paul? I'm just curious. I'm just,
I think
Facilities,
they looked at,
out,
they looked at it 2 years ago, I believe, and
Two.
it never made out of,
Actually,
meeting they set up.
actually, there was a organization
Yes.
came to this council 3 or 4 years ago, I think it could have been that long ago. And they capture feral cats and take them and have them
neuter.
neuter spayed and bring them back to their colony. It's been researched and it was brought up by several people that that is the best way to handle it. The most humane way to handle feral cats. And actually, I did not know we had a problem, I hadn't had any calls whatsoever on it. But now that you brought it to the table, we'll call them and maybe they can set up over there in that area. And do
I have
something.
the address.
Okay. Okay.
But we both received telephone.
But as far as cats itself, not hard to. These
And
cats run.
he said, well, he couldn't
Cats
shoot
are
'em.
hard to
I said, you're
control.
right. But I did tell him I would bring it to the committee meeting because I wouldn't like it.
I
And
knew.
I don't like my neighbor's cat.
Just curious.
Well, like I say, we can address the issue again if it's a major problem, I think, but there is somebody that does work on that area.
We need to get on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have that group report to us again possibly.
It's funny because this issue's been over.
If we have time at some point. I think that was a couple of years ago, because I was
Yeah.
on the committee.
Yeah, you were here.
I remember reading the section when y'all worked on it, but
I believe we still have the rough ordinance, it just never went anywhere, the group kind of originally fell apart, they were trying to find a place to put them up by the old water plant, to relocate them up there, and I'm not sure what happened, I wasn't part of the group, but I think they kind of couldn't agree to agree overall as a group.
We'll see where that stands.
They were gonna
Yeah.
catch them and either spay or neuter them and then release them back.
Yes.
We hadn't heard anything
Actually,
since
they
then
have
that
been, and I haven't heard much either, really, to tell you the truth.
Are they still active? Is that
I think so.
Oh, yes, sir. Ruth Davis is the
Yeah,
key person
Ruth.
Or she did?
on Compton Mountain.
I saw where she had taken 7 cats in one of the reports.
If you want them here to
I
address this.
invited him to come and speak to the committee
Oh,
tonight.
you did?
He didn't come.
Well, will you invite him again, then, if Dina's like to hear?
Well, I'm just saying, if there's a group that's doing this for us, maybe they should report and let us know how it's going, just so we can tell people to call us,
I
possibly.
think she means she invited the guy that,
I invited.
Oh, okay.
I know I invited
It's
him.
not Ruth Davis, is it?
No.
Okay, I'll do
I think Dina's got the right idea
Yeah.
too, because depending on where we go to with this, if they're going to do it and they kind of do it, not saying they are doing it, but on behalf of the city, we kind of need to be,
No.
know what's going on.
Okay.
It may be nothing more than just a simple endorsement.
I'll have the chief call her and see if we can have her at a meeting sometime.
Because there's, they're a problem.
Let me know.
Yeah.
So I tell us.
But to answer your question, we don't have any.
Okay. I thought that was right, guys.
They can pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other councilman have anything to bring to the table?
I'm done.
Kudos to, I don't know who gets it. I know most of you are very well aware of Saturday night after Crawdad Days is over, we got the torrential downpour and every bridge down Crooked Creek junior high school all the way to the weir was jammed up, clogged, and full of debris. I mean, it was, Brian runs it, I'm walking about every day with my dog, and it was like, I had visions, and I wasn't here, but I had visions of 61 all over again because, and with more rain coming in and with Texas, I sent an email to Wade, and he said they were already on it, and
They do a great job.
big kudos, so. They're not getting more hamburgers, water and sewer than that.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, I'll open it up to the public. If anybody in the audience would like to bring up anything at this time, you're more than welcome to step forward. I know some of you have been here for the certain things that were going to be on the agenda tonight, and they were not brought to the agenda. But Mr. Cash, you raised your hand there. Stand up.
Well, I'm sorry, I got tied up. I
Yeah.
didn't get here when I.
Well, we did not bring an issue to the table tonight.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Next meeting?
Well, it's up to the council. Right now, it's on the table. It's off the table right now. Anybody else have anything they would like to bring to the council? Okay, let's go home, folks. Thank you.
There you go.